My name is Gabriel Modelis, and today I would like to persuade my audience to believe that the happiness is a mindset. All right. Um, so I would like to start off by asking you guys a question: Are you having a good day or are you having a bad day? All right. Whatever your answer was, I would ask you another question: Why? So why'd you have a good day and why'd you have a bad day? You see there, right there. Why? That's that's the key question to understanding that happiness is a mindset. I'm pretty sure we all want to have a good day every day and be happy every day, right? And even though there might be bad days in between those days, you might also have the same question: why are you having these good days or bad days? It is how we respond to certain circumstances that determine our happiness and unhappiness. Therefore, it depends on what our state of mind is. It will depend if we are happy or unhappy. According to Marcus Aurelius, AD 161 to 180, in the Meditations, and I quote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Basically, living in an unhappy life is a real problem, especially one you have full control over. Thus, today I would like to talk about how happiness is a mindset, what causes happiness as well as unhappiness, and some of the solutions to achieve this said happiness. First, I would like to discuss what happiness is, and then also that happiness is a mindset. Our thoughts are known to be very, very powerful. According to Bruce H. Lipton, PhD, in the journal article The Medium, 2019, 70% or more of the programs that most of us are operating by are actually those of limitations and sabotage. Basically, what he's saying is that we sabotage ourselves, our self-sabotage, our mind sabotages us. We automatically we fear what we're not comfortable with. Therefore, we're scared to move forward or to pursue this happiness. What is this? Who is affected by unhappiness, and who is this intended for? Today we live in the age where everything is moving really, really fast. The internet is giving us endless information really, really early, at an early stage, especially to the young kids. We are experiencing a deadly virus currently as well, and so much other negative things that have been going on around this world. So I believe this is for everybody in the world, because everybody needs a little bit of happiness in their life, and I believe everybody's searching for this. But how does one stay happy through this all? Through all this pain, all the suffering, all the negative stuff, and even if something that it might be just having a bad day because you hit yourself somewhere, how do you change that to making it into a good day? According to the Center on Disease Control in 2022, 41.3% of kids from 18 to 29 and even younger millennials have diagnosed anxiety disorder in the United States. Why should young adults care? This is why. From speaking from personal experience, during the whole COVID thing, I realized that I was heavily depressed and had high anxiety, and I was wondering what was the cause of it. One, and two, I knew I was a very, very happy person, so I wanted to know how I could go back to being that same person. Luckily, during this whole process of me trying to figure out this whole way of getting to this happiness, I took this ethics class that I believe helped a lot, and I urge a lot of people to take it. It teaches you different ways to think, and that's one of the ways that I believe that that's one reason I believe young adults should care. For personal speaking, it is a very, very scary place to hit rock bottom, and like I said, everyone wants to be happy, and you have full control of that, and that's why I'm here to help you guys understand that. So what causes happiness and unhappiness? I am not a professional. I do not have it figured out. Like I said, I am not your shrink either, but I would like to tell you from personal experience. Like I said, during COVID, being alone all the time, being in the room brought me to the realization that I was very unhappy and wanted to find the root to the problem. I noticed that I was focused on chasing a purpose and not happiness. What I mean by that, what I meant by that is I was too focused on what was next, what happened before in the past, And also, what was going on in the present, I was too worried about the negatives and not focused on the positives. I am not saying depression and unhappiness is not a real thing, but it is something that can be controlled. Like I said, I was too focused on the past, the future, and all the negative possible outcomes that could happen in the present and at that time. There are certain things you can't control. People become too fixated on the negatives and the things they aren't able to control. According to Epictetus in the Discourses, 1535, and I quote, the chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals and not under my control, and which have to be the choices I actually control. The individual's job is to know and understand what is and what is not in our control. Although we might fully believe we have the worst luck in the world, always remember there is somewhere out there who has it way worse. Other factors involved can be individuals' need for instant gratification. Rather than looking for a long source of happiness, people usually chase external conditions that will bring them happiness the quickest. And that would lead to unstable happiness, to mood swings and all that stuff, to quick anger or quick sadness. Some examples of these instant gratifications that I might like to list are like the riches, the cars, social media fame, and even what we eat, fast food and all that stuff. And like even what we put into our bodies is another thing that we should consider. For example, if we eat sluggish stuff, we're gonna feel sluggish. So eat stuff that makes you happy, makes your body feel good, and all that stuff. When things aren't going our way, we then feel the feeling of happy. And when something goes wrong or not our way, we feel the other way. We feel unhappy. Why is that? We as individuals give other individuals control over happiness as well as the whim of their circumstances. So we let what certain circumstances determine how we feel throughout the day and how we think, and which we shouldn't. Why do we give people control? You might ask. Happiness comes from within, and once we realize this, we have full control. Once we realize we have full control, it'd be easier to avoid giving people and circumstances the power to determine how you feel throughout the day. According to Marcus Aurelius, again in the Meditations from AD 161 to 180, and I quote, you have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The thoughts you have every day have full control over your life, just as easy as it is to think of all the possible negative outcomes or whatever the circumstance might be. It is as easy to think of all the positive outcomes that can happen as well. So what do I do now after all this information, you might ask? The answer is simple. Think differently. An example might be if you're prolonging negative thought or a negative circumstance that occurred and you hold on to that, you're just prolonging that feeling of negativity and hatred, and you're just pushing it more and more and more throughout the day, and even sometimes pushing it on people. Other things you might consider, like I said prior, understanding certain things we can't control. Also, we need to stop outsourcing our happiness and unhappiness to other people as well as our circumstances. Stop putting your negativity, your negative thoughts, all that stuff on other people as well as your circumstances. If you're negative, one, obviously try to not be negative, chase happiness. Two, your negativity shouldn't be someone else's negativity. You know what I mean? Let everybody be happy. And also, we need to stop blaming others for our happiness. I even caught myself personally doing that. My job, I would blame it for working all those hours and not having time to have a social life. But then again, I should be blessed that I have, one, a job during these hard times. Two, I'm able to work. You know what I mean? I have 2 legs, I have 2 hands. I'm healthy. I'm blessed. We also need to actively cultivate a source of happiness and peace coming from within. And then we will notice a change in our life. If here are some examples that I have that I like to keep in my room to keep me happy. Green plants. I love anime, architecture. I have a mood board over here with all my favorite stuff. Cars, clothing, plants, architecture, interior design, shoes. I have more plants. Cars, like I said, Legos. Like, surround yourself with happiness and you would become happiness. Start thinking happily and you would be happy. In conclusion, happiness is a mindset. It is something that we can control from within. And it is very important we understand this and teach this to the youth, especially right now in these hard times. I cannot stress this enough how important it is to think differently. Holding on and prolonging onto the negative thoughts as well as the negative circumstances is just prolonging the sense of not being happy. But count your blessings, like I said. Think positively and watch that just doing this every day will make your day much, much, much better. Happiness comes from within the mind, so control how you want to feel from inside and project out the beautiful colors you have inside. I hope with this information I shared with you today, I have provided you with it. I have persuaded you to evaluate how you think about life, how you live life, and how you think about happiness. I believe it's such an important thing, and how you understand that there are certain things out of our control, and we need to stop aligning our happiness with what's happening externally. Like I said, happiness is an internal thing. It's a mindset. Start thinking happy, start being positive, and happy things will happen, positive things will happen, and you will feel the change instantly. Understand you are in control, and hopefully you will achieve this happiness.